So I'm currently a graduating senior, and I selected the CMB route. I also have a chemistry minor. I think if you talk to your advisors, you'll see that when you do that route, it's very easy to get a chemistry minor, which I highly recommend. And I'm currently have an internship with Church and Delight at a plant where they manufacture direct-fed microbiomes, which are bacillus bacteria, which are kind of an antibiotic analog, which is pretty cool. And I think that my CMB route really led me to have a lot of options when it comes to careers and further education. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Hi, everyone. I was a student in the biology department from 2008 to 2012. I did the general biology, although I focused most of my courses were in microbiology. But currently, I'm also the programs coordinator for the Office of Undergraduate Research. So if you do have any questions about undergraduate research or SURF funding, I'd be happy to answer those questions as well.
My undergrad was in, I had a double major in biological sciences and then in biochemistry, and then my master's was in molecular biology. And I went on to work for Christian Hansen. So we produce food cultures and enzymes as well as probiotics. We have internship opportunities that UWM students have taken advantage of. I've been a microbiologist there for 8 years, and now I am the senior regulatory affairs specialist. So I kind of bridge the gap between the science and industry and government authorities.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ari.
I graduated with a bachelor's in science biology. And I went on to work for Dr. Vadia in her lab, actually, right after graduation. And then after that, I got in at the Medical College of Wisconsin. And I work with zebrafish and right now working with Axenfeld-Rieger syndrome and studying those genes and dabbling in some of the human genes too.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Samuel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maria. I got my bachelor's degree in biological sciences with the CMB option. I was also a SURFie, so I participated in undergraduate research as well. After getting my bachelor's degree, I pursued my PhD, also in the laboratory of Dr. Avi Udvadia. And currently, I am a postdoctoral fellow at the Medical College of Wisconsin. I'm in the Department of Pediatrics in their Developmental Biology Division.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's see if anyone has any questions.
Any of the alumni want to pop in?
So I can say that certainly the two courses that ironically helped me the most in my career were a course in scientific writing and in presenting in science. So you were talking about the ability to communicate in science as being very important. And I have found that those courses especially really set me up to do well because it differentiated me from other science graduates. A lot of people, I think in science, we are really focused on our work and we're really smart, but if we can't communicate those thoughts with everyone else, it's really hard to get places. So those two courses were awesome and helped me out a ton.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I think that is essential. It's kind of like the proverbial tree that falls in the woods. If you can't communicate your science, did it really happen? So being able to communicate your science is important.
I would also second what Ari just said. Communication is extremely important. The other thing that I was thinking was the mentoring from the faculty. I think a lot of us, and I'm seeing Sam nodding his head, I think the faculty did a really fantastic job. I mean, I still think of Dr. Buvadia as science mom, and I also had science dad. And I know that those were really important relationships for me to have. And so I don't think we can stress enough how important it is to go to office hours and to get to know your professors and to really take advantage of the information that they have to share with you, and it's not just course related. I think it really helped me figure out different life paths and figuring out what else was out there and the things that were specific to my situation. And I know that I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without that guidance.
I second that, the mentoring for sure. Also, one of the classes I took talked about programs, like computer programs for science-related things, and I learned how to use PyMol, and I was like, when I came into the lab at MCW, I was like one of the only people who could work PyMol, and then that ended up getting me my first published paper, so
Nice.
that sticks with me.
I'd say to add to all of that, which is all true, and speaking from my experience, everything that everyone has said, I completely agree with. I would highly recommend for any of our undergraduates to pursue the SURF opportunities that we have available for the undergraduates. Getting that hands-on experience, whether you're doing microbiology or ecology or cellular molecular biology, really helps. It helps to prepare you for what comes next, and it lets you see if you even like it. I know when I first started, I didn't even know that that there was an option to do undergraduate research in the lab, and I am so glad that I was able to find out that I could. Kind of to build on what other people were saying, I wouldn't be in the position I was in without my experiences and the support I got from the department here at UWM.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you, Maria. Ari also left a comment here saying, I agree with Jess, the biosci department, both faculty and students are like family. The friends that I made there are still people that I stay in touch with and turn to with science questions 10 years later.
I think for me personally, it was not taking advantage of the SURF opportunities earlier. That was kind of my fault. Like the department had those resources there and they like marketed them, but I just never really realized the importance of it until I was like in my junior and senior year. And it's harder to like build those relationships up and like find the professors you want to work with when like you've crunched yourself down into having 2 years to do that, rather than starting right away in like your first or second semester, because you'll realize like who you gel with. Like personally, like Dr. Day, like I love him and I wanted to be in his lab, but COVID kind of threw a wrench in that gear. But if I would have started that earlier, I wouldn't have had to deal with the unknown event of COVID. So I just really want to stress that getting involved early is super important.
Thank you, Thomas. That's great advice. Great advice. And I think you'll find all the professors in our department are very approachable, particularly if you want to talk to them about their science. I'll just tell you that there's no scientist that doesn't love talking about their science. So definitely, all of our research is posted on the website, all of our research interests. So peruse those and really look to see if there's anybody that's doing something that really speaks to your heart. Somebody's got their hand raised. Sam.
Yeah, my regret was not making use of talking to faculty more often, because I transferred, and before my other colleges, I never like checked what would transfer, and so by the time I got to UWM, Dr. Vadia can vouch, I had to ask her twice or 3 times to enter her classes because technically I didn't have the required credits, even though I definitely did.
Yeah. So definitely talk if there's a class that you think you have the background for, but it hasn't transferred. Definitely make that connection and talk to somebody. Don't just assume that you can't get in. Yeah.
Great advice.
Thank you, Jess.
I will definitely agree with the things that have already been said. But one of the things, I was a commuter student, so I lived not too far from campus, and so I didn't live in the dorms. It wasn't a requirement for my freshman year when I was in school, and I didn't take advantage of a lot of the campus involvement activities. So really, my group of students was limited to my classes, which was fine, and I made some good friends from that. But I would say take advantage of the things that are on campus and get involved and see what else is out there. I mean, undergraduate research is one of those ways, and that is one of the ways that I made some good friends, but there's a lot of stuff happening on campus and a lot of really wonderful students to meet. So that would definitely be my biggest regret, is not taking more advantage of those opportunities.
Thank you. We also have Dr. Saffarini here with us. He's a professor in microbiology. Todd, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Hello, everyone. I don't have anything prepared to say because I did not know I was going to be asked.
Sorry, I just thought
okay.
maybe you wanted to give a plug for microbiology.
Well, yeah, I mean, I heard some of the students talk about microbiology. I'm a microbiologist. I love it. And, one thing that I've been telling people about microbiology these days is the link of microbes to everything else that is in the human body. And one of the really exciting areas of research that students should think about is the combination of, let's say, neurobiology and microbiology, where now microbes actually control what your brain does, which is amazing when you think about it. These are organisms you can't see, but they are controlling everything.
Yes.
And so there is a link now between microbes, which people did not know about, and other things in the body, like your brain and your gut and everything else. So, if I were to go back to school, starting from scratch, I would take courses in neurobiology, which I never took. And I would take courses in microbiology and, take as many different things to learn about life as possible. I guess that's my advice to students.
Thanks, Dot. Yeah, actually, I'll just also put in a plug where I'm starting a neurobiology major, neuroscience major, which will be available to new incoming students hopefully soon. We're getting it through the approval process, but there is, you can double major in biological sciences and neuroscience, and that would be, I think, a really powerful double major for the reasons that Dr. Saffarini just stated. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And for our new guests, we really hope to be able to welcome you here to UWM, and particularly to the biology department as our newest members. So please keep in touch and let us know if we can help make that decision easier for you to press the button yes for UWM.
Great. Thank you, everybody.